Yeah. Yeah.
Another week. Man, look at that. Right on the money. You see that? 6 o'clock on the dot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
Whee! Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk in Real Estate. I am one of the hosts. I ain't the host. I'm one of the hosts, Chris Allen. And I got my man.
I am Mr. Maurice Murphy.
They call him we got to change the name. It's the
bearded one.
Bearded one.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah, because somebody messed around and took the other one and said he can't be called the bearded realtor no more.
Yeah, pretty much. You know,
we're gonna call somebody. We're gonna petition that thing back, brother. I promise you, we're gonna get that back for you. Okay?
I don't get it either.
You don't need it. So if we get it back, can I use that, the bearded realtor, and then you can just keep the bearded one?
Sure. If you want to buy the domain from me, I got the domain already. So I mean,
see how
the domain is still mine now. I still own the domain.
All right, I'm gonna have to come up with something else. Though. I might the bearded realtor. How about that?
I'm just saying.
You know,
yes, sir, man. Hey, man, I'm looking forward to the show, man. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I talked to this young lady a while ago, man. I think it's probably like summertime when we talked about being on the show, man. So definitely looking forward to it, man.
When you hit me up and you told me that she was gonna be on there, man, you were so doggone fired up about it. I was like, well, let's do it then. Let's make it happen then. Shucks, because the way you talked about it, I was like, I thought Michael Jackson or the Pring was about to walk in this piece.
Hey, man, when you're around those winners, man, you gotta know, man. You gotta say, hey, I do my show.
I said it took a whole year to get on this. Golly, I love it. So let's before we go any further.
Yes.
Let's pay some bills.
Let's go ahead and start here. Hey, my man Chris Allen got a book out. I said that again. My man Chris Allen got a book out.
That's me. That's me right there. You see it? You see it? I love it.
Check him out on Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, when the folks gonna get an audible version of the book? That's
I'm working on some stuff right now, man. It's a little bit more tedious process than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be somebody from Amazon was going to just be able to. I got to get my own voice person, and I got to listen. It's a little bit. Yeah.
Well, it's not like sitting here just reading the book and you just sitting there recording.
No. I thought it was. I thought it was going to be AI version that they could put the AI version. No, brother, you got to get. I said, well, we're gonna hold off on that. Let them buy the audible. Let them buy the regular version first, and then we can transition into the audible version. Absolutely. But we're gonna get it done. It's gonna happen.
One more bill we gotta pay, man, really quick before we get the show started, man.
Hi, I'm Linda Garcia with Mortgages by Linda. We have over 21 years of experience in the mortgage industry, and we work with 15 different wholesale lenders to get you the lowest interest rates. We provide excellent customer service and look forward to helping you with your mortgage.
That is our partner, Miss Linda Garcia. Mortgages by Linda. You can reach her at mortgagesbylinda.com or 1-877-TEAM-MBL.
Yeah.
Great partner there. So
Linda's amazing, man. She's doing some amazing things here in Jacksonville and all over, man. Listed as one of the top mortgage brokers in the state of Florida.
Yeah, man. She just won the award. I think she was top 2023 top mortgage broker. Yeah.
So she's definitely somebody that if you're interested in trying to close some deals, don't know how to get the deal closed, call Linda. She's gonna definitely hook you up, help you out, make sure you get it done.
Absolutely. One more thing before we get started, man. You see it, don't you? You see it, don't you?
The Jags,
I'm Jags, baby. All right, let's go ahead and get it started now. I feel better now.
Is there a sponsor?
Hey, no, they don't sponsor, but
well, we ain't talking about it.
You gotta represent, baby. You gotta represent them Jags, baby.
Just roar or something, but we ain't gonna show no logo. They got to pay. You got to pay to play over here, baby. I'm trying to get a check.
Absolutely, man. Hey, so man, like you said, man, we got an amazing show. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about this young lady we got coming on the show. She's been in real estate. She's a broker owner. She owns True Guidance Realty and focuses on client connections. I think she's had the business for she's been in the business 6 years. 6 or 7 years, and then I think she's had True Guidance for probably like 3 or 4. I don't know. We'll find that out on the show, man. But she looks at client connections and being resourceful. She lives a God first life, which I didn't really know that she go to our same church. I don't know if you knew this too. So she
goes celebration. That praise and worship is off the charts.
Yeah.
That praise and worship is off the charts. What?
Absolutely. She seeks to guide a 5-star experience by being transparent and exceeding expectations. Alongside her real estate expertise, she enjoys good food, laughter, and board games. We got to talk about that too. Empowering others to grow. She values community, fostering connections through events and volunteering, and believing that people are meant to do life together. Hey, let's welcome to the show, Miss Tamara Sarant.
I love it. We're gonna talk about. She on?
Right, come on.
There she is. There she
Hey
is.
guys,
What's going on?
What's going on?
y'all are funny, okay?
Listen, that light is over there popping on your skin. I see that light popping.
Listen, it's the good old pregnancy skin, okay?
I love it. I love it. I love it. How you doing tonight, Miss?
I'm doing amazing, amazing.
Good. Yeah.
We are so honored and pleased to have you on the show. So thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and doing this interview for us. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, Maurice, when he came back and told me that you was gonna be on the show, he talked about you.
Absolutely.
Like I thought you was like you wanted the Supremes or something. I said, well, yeah. He said, man, she the truth. She that deal. I said, man,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Maurice is so sweet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode. So real quick, go ahead and give us that backstory. Who is it? How are we gonna say her name? Is it Tamara?
Hey, come on, team. Yes, that's how you say it. Tamara, like T and Tamara. Let's go.
Hey, I said that's Tia right there. That's Tia.
Yeah. That's me.
I got it. Go ahead. So go ahead and give us that backstory. Tell us where you're from. You ain't got to go back until when you was a baby, but you can kind of take us back. Take us back a little bit.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna ask for forgiveness because I'm over here 5 months pregnant. I haven't even shared this on social media yet, so they getting it live.
Oh, we got the exclusive right here. Y'all better recognize up in the show. I told you. We get the exclusive.
So forgive me in advance for breathing hard. I promise I'm okay. Okay, I'm just growing a little one.
Yeah,
okay.
I love it.
So I am actually born and raised in Broward County, Florida, Pompano Beach.
Okay.
And I've been in Jacksonville now for about 10 years. Okay. And I absolutely love it. Look, I have 10 siblings. They wondering when I'm coming back. I'm not on my way.
You're not coming back?
I'm here.
They need to come here.
That's what has to happen.
Okay, I got you.
So I worked at Lowe's for about maybe 13 years, Lowe's Home Improvement. And the last 8 or 9 years of being there, it just was time to go. I felt like God was really just stirring something inside of me. It was time to do something else. I wasn't able to really connect with people the way I wanted to. So something else happened in my life with one of my little nieces, and Lord knows we got a lot of them. And I had decided before I wasn't married at the time that I was going to interrupt my life to try to make hers better. And I was like, what the heck can I do to make that happen? So I brought her up here with me. She stayed for a couple of months. It didn't end up working out for her staying with me. But in my research of figuring out what can I do besides what I was doing to make money and give her time, real estate kept coming up. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that because I'm not about to be like a car salesman. Respect to y'all, okay? But that's what was on my mind.
Right.
And one of my good friends from high school, she had been in real estate for a while, and she kept telling me, you'll be good at it. I'm like ignoring her. Anyway, doing all of this and doing all of my research, I quickly realized that it would have been a perfect job because it would allow me to make money and give her the time she needed. But in addition to that, I quickly found out it's not a car salesman job. It was more about building relationships.
That's it.
And I was like, okay, I can handle building some relationships. So I ended up just stepping out on faith, and Lord knows it was hard. And my now husband, then boyfriend, was like, you can give a whole lot more to people. Won't you just go do it? So between him and the situation happening with my niece and things like that, it pushed me to go ahead and just do it. And when I do things, I go wholeheartedly.
I love it.
I don't know no other way to do it. So I've been in real estate now for 6 years, like Maurice said. And man, I just the way I've been able to connect with people beyond just real estate to help them just in their everyday life, it's been nothing short of a blessing. And I absolutely love it. So not for a moment, even when times get hard, have I said I want to quit.
Never?
I have. Listen,
you ain't never thought about it.
Never.
Wow.
It's even when things is hard and the money ain't rolling and whatever it is, I have never thought about quitting. It's like this, there is no plan B.
I got you.
So so I'm here. It took forever, but I am here. I absolutely love what it is that I do to be able to connect with people, as Maurice alluded to earlier. And that is my backstory without going back to childhood.
I love it. I love it. Maurice, you got one?
So what was the reason of moving from Pompano to Jax? Other than it was just a job? Or was it?
It was just literally, I was just tired of my surrounding, to be honest with you, and just all the things that was happening. And I was like, Lord, I see myself about to go down a hole that I don't want to be a part of. And I just up and said, you know what? I'm going to move somewhere. I didn't know where I was going, Maurice. I just said, I'm going to, where is it hot? And I was at Lowe's. So I said, let me apply, because I was a manager. And I was like, let me apply at, I think I applied to Texas, a couple of places in Florida, and a couple of other hot places, Arizona, and all these places, Georgia. And I'm like, okay, whoever texted me first, that's where I'm going. And Jacksonville took me first, and I've been here ever since, and I love it.
So 6 years. So 6 years here in Jacksonville.
I've been 10 years in Jacksonville, 6 years in real estate.
Got it. So walk us through, I know we already went back, walk us through your first year.
Oh, Lord. How embarrassing, okay? My first year inside of real estate, man, was I in my head. I guess so many people probably, I know they do, to have that same story. Sure. But I just was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to try that, because it makes me uncomfortable. So I kind of held myself back a lot through my first year. And we all learn differently, right? Right. But the brokerage that I was at when I first started, they had some great people there. However, I'm not someone who wants someone to do stuff for me. Show me how to do it. Tell me what the rules are. Show me how to read or follow the rules. I don't mind reading it. And then I can move forward from there, because now I know how to move without going to real estate jail. But every time I had deals and things trying to come in, they'd be like, oh, I'm not going to help you. Let me just do it for you. No, you're not about to do it for me. So I dealt with a lot of people trying to do things for me at the brokerage I was at first, instead of just walking me through it. And that just got on my last nerve. So some of the things, again, I'm the type of person, I want to know the bottom line of all of the stuff. And that's going to help me to make a decision. And I wasn't getting that. So in my first year, it was a lot of things I also didn't do, because I didn't fully understand the heart behind it or the purpose behind it. I just didn't get it. And the people who were around me at the time did not take the time out to really explain to me the way that I needed to hear it. Gotcha. It was more of because I said so. Right. Well, that ain't good enough. You're not my mom, okay?
Right.
So that was pretty much my first year. And I had lost some deals, because I learned about, in my first year, about with me not being from Jacksonville, I started this business here, really knowing nobody.
Right.
And it was like, okay, I didn't understand the power of open houses. And that was one of the things they kept bringing up. I'm like, I don't get it. Why would I go do an open house if I'm going to end up losing a deal and somebody else is going to get it? I didn't understand at the time that open houses were for leads and to meet people.
Right.
Well, it took me a whole year to even get, I'm like, what the heck? Right. So when I finally got it, that's what helped me to boom my business towards the end of my last year.
So when you understood what the purpose of the open houses were, how many open houses did you actually do? Do you remember that first year?
Yeah, the first year, I did like 2 open houses a weekend for 2 weekends out of every month. So every Saturday and Sunday, I would do an open house. I'll pick 2 weekends. Sometimes I'll do 3 weekends, but for sure, my goal was to stay at 2 and to be consistent with it. Gotcha. And I did that for almost a year.
Oh,
consistently.
Wow.
Gotcha.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Maurice.
So you said, so make sure I got this right. So you say you wasted almost a year of your first year in real estate doing absolutely nothing.
Pretty much doing absolutely nothing. And in my mind, I was doing something, but I was doing absolutely nothing.
Right. In your mind, you was working hard.
Oh, I was working real hard.
Right. Let me
ask you. So what was it that clicked for you that said, okay, well, hold up now, this ain't gonna work. Like, I gotta make this thing happen.
You know, like I said, I go wholeheartedly with I try to with everything that I decide to do. And after seeing, like, number one, I was working off my savings after just leaving a job that I've been at for 13 years. And my husband was supporting me. Thank God I had him, because if it was up to me, I've been on the street because I wasn't making no money. So the fact that I wasn't making money, I needed to contribute. And then after experiencing having these conversations with people and how they really needed that connection to get forward with things, and a lot of things went beyond just the real estate aspect. That was just the end goal. But it went beyond that. They needed resources outside of that to help them to even get to the next step to get closer to a closing. So with that process with the clients and all the connections that I was yearning for, which made me leave my job, with me being fulfilled in that way, I knew this is where I was supposed to be. It was no doubt about it. So the fact that I knew this was where I was supposed to be, and I know people are making money, there's no reason why I can't make money doing it and still be fulfilled. So it was just like, no, we got to do something else. If people are doing it, it works. So you need to stop being lazy, get out your head, go do what you got to do. And if you don't want to do what you've been trying, try something else. And don't just quit after like 2 days of doing it.
Gotcha.
Have you always had that type of tenacity? Do you remember a time in your child? Yeah, let's go there.
And I have 100%. I've been talking about this, I feel like, with people over the last maybe year. And I have, since I've been a little girl, I've always been like a problem solver. I just feel like it's a gift of mine, because some of the stuff I try to run away from, and it's like, nope. And I'm kind of a straight to it type of person. Like, I'm talking to you, let's get to it. And I consider my skin to be pretty thick. So I'd rather you tell me the truth and say what you got to say. Just don't be disrespectful, because I'm going to give it back to you that way. That's the only way I know how. So yes, since I've been a little girl, that's always been the way I am. And then I used to love proving points, Chris.
Okay.
Because I love factual things and reading, and I'm like, nope, this is how it is. And it was coming out however it needed to come out, and they couldn't really argue because I was right. But my presentation, it was, nobody was receiving it. And it was to the point, even my siblings, like I said, I have 10 of them. I remember one time they tried to jump me because of my mouth. I'm like, I'm y'all sibling, y'all gonna jump me though? Just because of my mouth. So I've always had that in me for sure.
And are you the where's your makeup as far as in your siblings? Are you the baby?
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay. Okay. So you had to get your voice heard at some point. You had to get your voice heard.
I only speak when I feel like I need to. I wasn't a person to just be running my mouth. I never have been. So it's like, if we're speaking, talking about stuff, I'm gonna get into it. But outside of that, I'm not saying any more than I have to. But when I speak, you better listen up.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Good.
So let me go back for a second. So you jump right into real estate and quit the job. Okay. So if it wasn't for the husband, you would. That's not an option.
You've been on the streets.
Yeah. Have I on the streets under somebody bridge somewhere? Now.
Okay.
Now I'll tell you, my store manager at the time, he's given me a lot of opportunities being here for those 4 years of the 13 in Jacksonville. But that last straw, because I told you, I'm the type of person that you tell me what I need to do, I'm gonna do my best to get it done and not cause no problems. So I'm sure he was not used to me talking back or standing up or whatever. I only do it if I have to. I'm not gonna fight every battle. But he tried me that last go round. Because I was going to stick in there just a little bit, but then he just was like, oh, well, if you're going to leave, your job is not going to be here for you, because I tried to go on leave to figure everything out with my niece. And he wasn't having it. I said, well, don't worry about it, brother. You do what you got to do. I'm going to do what I got to do. And that's all I said to him, and I just did it. And that pushed me to the next level, because if it was up to me, I would have stayed just being comfortable.
Gotcha. So I'm curious to know, why wasn't you going hard when you got into the real estate business? Because like you said, it was no plan B, but you were kind of you can't tell me what to do type thing. What was that? What was that?
Well, Maurice, you got to understand, in my mind at that time, not having all the knowledge, I was doing everything I was supposed to do in my mind. Right. Okay, I'm gonna need you to catch that.
Oh, got you. Okay, now I understand.
I was doing everything I was supposed to do. Okay.
Right.
Got you. Okay.
It wasn't until I met a coach in Maryland who was a straight shooter, the way that I am.
There you go.
And she just basically called me out, because I can't deny it.
Yeah.
And this is what you're supposed to be doing. I'm like, wait a minute, now that's not what I did when I did that. And she just kept hitting. I'm like, oh Lord, I ain't been working. So I eventually got it together. So in my mind, Maurice, I was doing what I was supposed to.
Oh.
You just touched on something I think is powerful, and I want to stay right there. You talked about it wasn't until you reached out to a coach, and then that coach was the one that guided you to where you needed to be.
No, she said called out her bullshit.
That's called out. Yeah. Oh, that's well. I was trying to keep the show so we can get some sponsorship money from the burger. I don't know. You know, but yeah. So how has having a coach? Do you still have that coach now? And how has having a coach been pivotal in your career?
All right, so that's a great question. And I'm sorry, I'm about to pivot this a little different the way you're trying to go.
Let's go.
So the coach that I had wasn't a coach I had to pay for, because she has a platform which has over 50,000 real estate ladies inside of it.
There you go.
And on that platform, she didn't necessarily call me out like, Tamira, you However, just being able to listen to what she had to say and all the messages that she was giving and all the coaching she was doing, I learned just through that, because again, she was a straight shooter.
Sure.
So, and I still do have access to her today, as do a whole bunch of other people, but do everybody utilize her? Probably not. But she had ended up leaving. She was with the brokerage I was with in the beginning, which I had no idea. And she ended up leaving and going to a different brokerage, and I followed her there. And that's where it really got real for me.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So now you're a broker. Go ahead.
Do you have another coach now that you pick?
I do not have another coach now. I have gone through maybe like 2 coaches in my 6 years of being in real estate, but it wasn't quite aligned.
Got it.
But I did learn stuff from each experience.
Gotcha.
If you had, go ahead, Maury, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Do you think if you had a real true coach early on in the game? Okay.
Absolutely, 100%. Because I think a lot of times getting into this industry, even in today's world, it's true, and it seems like that number may be rising, but about 85 to 87% of the real estate agents are not successful. They're not really working for whatever reason. Some people like to say they're lazy. I don't think that's always the case.
They don't know what to do.
Correct. I think in most cases, they simply don't know what to do. And then a lot of times, which I know I experienced going from brokerage to brokerage, that I needed to know what worked for me. Don't put me in a box with everybody else.
Sure.
I needed somebody to take the time out, help me figure out the way I think, the way it goes. How do I make this work? Because everything works if you work it.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
So let's touch on that for a second, because we've had other people on the show, and I kind of have a rebuttal to what you just said. Not that they're lazy, but I mean, you show them the direction to go, and like all of us here, we all thought it was easy. They don't want to take the hard route to get to their success. So
that is correct.
What do you think that comes from? Like, if they're not lazy, we show them how to do it, but they don't want to do the job.
I think that some people are lazy, Maurice. It's just what it is.
Okay.
But I don't feel like majority of them are.
Gotcha.
I think for some people, in my experience of speaking with people and mentoring them, that they feel, again, they don't know what to do. And some people just want to know success is going to follow. Like you said, they want the easy road. If I do A, I need for the results to come tomorrow.
Yes.
And I think with they want instant gratification. And when it's the delayed gratification, they have to be consistent. It kind of discourages them. And then the other thought for me, the number one thought for me is when people get into this industry, they don't even know what they're getting into.
Right.
A lot of people come into this industry first and foremost, coming from a corporate job the way that I did. And by the grace of God, I just have a whole nother mindset. I've been mature beyond my age forever, but most people who are coming from a corporate mindset, when they get into real estate, I don't feel that they fully understand the difference between the corporate world and being your own boss. So now that you get into real estate, you expect your broker to be the one to be your corporate manager. You expect your broker to be the one to tell you to do everything. You expect your broker to tell you when you wake up, when you should go to sleep, when should you eat, when should you go prospect, when should you go do these things, and it don't work like that in the real estate world.
Right.
Unless you're on a team, then that's another setup because it's a different setup. But if you're an independent agent, I just think a lot of people get into it not fully understanding. You have to go out and prospect, what that even means. You have to go out and you have to follow up. You have to do all these things, and it has to be done consistently. And you have to do it even when you don't see the results.
Angie Lawson said mindset. Absolutely. Mindset. What you talked about is mindset. you know, you got to switch that mindset from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur or business owner mindset.
Absolutely.
Because like you said, there's no one's going to be sitting there telling you, hey, you go prospect, go do this. And that's what they're used to, you know? So yeah, I 100% agree with that. Yeah. So have you always had an entrepreneur type mindset, or were you corporate minded or employee minded?
I feel like I've been told that I've always had an entrepreneur mindset, but I never saw myself that way.
Okay.
It was easier, I guess, in the corporate world just because somebody told you what to do. You learn how to do things out the back of your hand. It was the same crap over and over. But I've always had the mindset again of being a problem solver. And I think that's what entrepreneurs and people can do in any field, really. But being a problem solver, I think that I have been, because I mean, like I used to dabble into a whole bunch of different things.
Gotcha.
And I could do it well if I put my mind fully to it. So I guess I kind of have and kind of haven't been, but people saw it in me before I did.
Gotcha. So have you, like when you looked at the industry of real estate, and I know you talked about wanting to be able to spend more time with the, you know, spend more time, make some money or whatever. Were there any other careers that you considered at that particular time that you thought?
No, it wasn't. That's how I ended up in real estate, because when I kept doing my research, there was nothing else of interest to me to make me say, go try this. Yep, that might be a good idea. I searched and I searched.
Okay.
And it kept coming back to real estate, even though I was fighting it.
Right. Because we've had some guests on the show, and they said that their background was they saw some real estate agents. They were around certain things, but for you, that wasn't even the case at all. You kind of like got in. I
did have the one friend, like I said, who was really, she's like family, but who was in real estate since I'm sure I look younger than I really am. But she had started real estate since she got out of high school. And she's been in it now for almost like probably 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And those years go by quickly. She started early. Like I think I've been out of high school for I graduated in 2004. So I've been out of high school almost 20 years. So with that being said, that was in the back of my brain, but not enough to do nothing with.
Got it.
Gotcha. So now help me understand, what was that transition like from agent to broker owner? What was the thought process behind that, of starting your own brokerage?
Well, Maurice, nothing is simple in my world, okay? So so I knew from the moment that I got into real estate, again, when in my research, I understood broker was the next step, but I had no desire to be a broker owner. Okay. I simply wanted the education, and I like to be the best at what I do. Okay. I like challenging people in certain, aspects. Okay. And I was like, I knew from the beginning, I'm going to get my broker's license, whether I become a broker or not, just for the knowledge, just for the education. So when I'm dealing with my clients, somebody can't have one up on me without me have tried. So I already knew I was going to do that from the beginning. I tried to do it even before it was time. In my mind, it was already 2 years. They was like, no, Tamir, it's not 2 years. You got to wait a couple of more months. Okay. So then, I had to just scale back a little bit. So I knew that from the beginning. But once I actually got my broker's license, I still was, they consider what in Florida, a broker's associate. Yeah. So then I had my broker associates for like a year, maybe a year and a half. And then, Lord Jesus, I'm about to take y'all all over the place. Okay?
Take us, go there.
So back in it's been 3 years, 2 years, back in 2021, my husband and I got pregnant with our first child. And unfortunately, we lost a child at 17 weeks, early delivery. During that time with the brokers that I was at, I didn't feel like I was getting, not that they didn't have to stop their whole day job and come check on me. That wasn't your job. Right. But be a little human. You could have just called and just check, hey, how you doing? Whatever. It was a big catastrophe in my life. Get it. And that was one of the things that kind of broke the camel's back for me. And I was just like, so y'all just not gonna check on me or nothing? I kind of told you, okay. So along with some other things that I won't mention, that happened. And I was just like, okay, I think it's time for me to go. And I felt like at the position of where I was in my my mindset or my business or my success or whatever, there was nowhere else for me to go because that brokerage was 100%. And not only were they 100%, they actually did provide training, all the things you don't expect from a brokerage that give you 100% of your commission. So I was like, there's nowhere else for me to go. If I'm going to do something else, it would be at my own brokerage. And yeah, it's going to be just with me. That was me, y'all. It's going to be just me. I'm not bringing nobody else on.
Wait a minute. You're not going to bring nobody on?
Chris, that was my mind. Okay. I'm trying to tell you. That's what I told myself.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, we're not bringing nobody else on. I don't feel like dealing with people. I don't want to correct them. I don't feel like it. So I ended up opening my brokerage out of all the pain in the midst of healing for my baby and all these things, and opened the brokerage. And then when I opened, I think I announced it, and I had a few people reach out like, can I come where you at? And I was like, yeah, no. And I wasn't letting anybody in because I just wanted to be by myself. Right. But then the Lord was like, yeah, girl, no, you tried it. You've been running all your life. You're going to have to bring somebody on. You have to do something. And still to this day, I've been fighting, but now I finally let go. And from that, it transitioned me into getting into broker status, actually active brokerage. And I had to go through some training and classes and YouTubes and asking questions to figure out. I was afraid of what if these people come on and I can't give them what they need. Because it was that thing of all these processes and systems and all these things you just think you need to be so great. And it's like, girl, no. So I had to just sit down and think about what was it that if I was going to open the brokerage, what is it that's holding me back? And why do I want to do it? So I went to a training with a local company, and they actually are for brokers. There's not a lot of support for brokers. They are specifically for brokers. They also have something for agents, but that was different. So when I went to that training, it helped me tremendously. So that was another coaching thing as well. So every thought, every fear, every unanswered question that I thought I had, they had answered that in one shot. And with that, it helped me to move to the next step. I was like, okay, now that I know I got what I need, if I bring somebody, I can actually give them something instead of bringing them on just to say I got agents. So that helped me to transition to that next step of actually opening a brokerage and being open to bringing people on. So even now, I haven't even started advertising, and my brokerage has been open for I think like almost 3 years. And I have 4 agents, I think. I had more than that, but 2 of them, we decided to part ways.
We said that we decided to part ways.
Yes, okay, and we did. So I will be, my plan is next year after having this baby, or maybe in the middle of this baby, we'll start opening up and actually bringing people on. So I've been working behind the scenes. Does that answer your question, Maurice? I know it was long.
Yeah, it answers your question.
What does the branding of your company look like from what do you when you look at your company from the major aspect? What do you see? What do you see?
I don't know if this is what you're asking, but the heart behind my brokerage is when people are coming into it, I want them to see, number one, we are a family. Not all of us gonna get along. Not all of us gonna be best friends, but we're gonna have your back. The other thing is coming into my brokerage, I don't want to, and it's not out of fear, I don't want to expand to the point to where there's like 100 agents in my brokerage. I want it to be enough to where they always have access to the broker.
So you want more like a boutique type brokerage.
What'd you say, Chris?
You want more like a boutique type brokerage.
Oh yeah, boutique for sure.
Boutique type brokerage. Okay.
Yep, for sure. Gotcha. Yep. So I want them to be able to come in and have access to the broker and get that support that they need. Because I know for me, that was a spot that I didn't have at no brokerage I was at. Not to the level that I wanted it. So I'm looking for my tribe. I'm not trying to please everybody, and I don't want everybody with a heartbeat in the license.
Gotcha.
I love it. Gotcha. Go ahead, Maurice.
So now for you, so what has been, let's say, the top 3 biggest challenges as being a broker owner in the past, almost 3 years? Yeah.
So number one, for sure, being able to find and have the patience with the agents that are not producing. And that's something that every brokerage, no matter how big they are, how great they are, and all those things, that's always going to be the number one thing, because you can't make them do anything. No matter how good you got them, they just won't do right sometimes. Right. And the top 3, what else would be finding the right systems. When I say systems, not as far as what you do on a day-to-day, but the actual like programming and CRMs and things like that work for you, because there's a million things out there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So being able to find what actually works for you and your vision for your brokerage and your agents is always challenging. So I've already changed like 3 times.
Gotcha.
And then the third thing, what would the third thing be? I don't know if I have a third one, Maurice. It's really those agents and and then just balancing trying to be a broker, and because I still do produce. So balancing trying to be a broker in production when your agents aren't producing. So everything boils back down to sales. Sure. If the sales are coming in, then you don't really have to worry about producing as much. You can just pass it along to your agents or whatever and take it from there. So the balancing between being an agent and a broker owner.
So let me ask a follow-up question to that. So first question is, one, what are you doing with those agents that aren't producing, that you can't make do anything? How are you handling those situations?
How do you do those? Yeah.
Yep. So that's a great question. So one of the things that I have in my brokerage is you have to make a minimum of 6 deals a year. And that's nothing, y'all. But I understand the nature of our business. So you have to make a minimum of 6 deals a year to even be able to stay on. I charge a fee every year for anyone who make less than that. Now I give them a chance. I won't just kick people to the curb. So if you don't make that 6, you then go into a mentorship program.
Okay.
And the mentorship program has things laid out of what you should be doing that I know will work if you do it to get you to where you get to go. And I think I give them about 6 months to get it right.
Gotcha.
If they don't do it, but by that time frame, they have to get out of my brokerage, unfortunately.
Gotcha. And so let me ask this question, because I see this a lot too. So is there ever going to be a plan for you to come out of production, or what does that look like for you?
Oh, 100%. That is absolutely the goal for sure. Because no matter how many agents you get, you got to get a certain number to know where you need to be to pay all these bills and to keep things going and to pay your own bills. And absolutely, the goal is to be out of production for sure.
Well, I got a follow question. You know, we keep it 100. We keep it 100 over here on this show. We had a broker on the show before. She said that the checks ain't the same over here. You know, she said that, you know, she
and I quote,
that check
don't come the same.
They're not the same.
They're not. When you just, if you like the question Maurice just asked, if I get out of production and I only depend on the agents, the checks are not the same because you're only getting a cut of it. Y'all know that. So I have a tier split. They have 3 different tiers they can go to. It's 100% once you make a certain amount of deals, 90-10 and 80-20. Everybody start at 80-20. In the mentorship program, you're at 730. So I'm only making 30%, 20%, or 10%. And that check ain't different. I'd rather have the bigger number.
Right. So once they go to that 100%, then they have is there a yearly fee or?
So everybody gets a yearly fee regardless. But what happens is when you get to 100%, the ideal is that you're doing 25 deals or more a year.
Gotcha.
So then you still got to pay the brokerage fee. So then I'm making enough from the brokerage fee to where it's still, if you're making enough of volume, that brokerage fee is going to pay decent enough to get bills paid.
How many agents do you plan on having in your office? What's the game?
So my ultimate goal is no more than I want to get to 10 first, and see how I handle that and still be able to give people what they need. But I'm also looking to have enough of producing agents. So that's going to be more important than having 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 agents.
Right.
I need enough of producing agents. So my goal is to get to 10 first. And then from there, I'm thinking I really don't want to go past probably 20. I feel like that's going to be too much to actually still give the point of you coming to my brokerage.
Gotcha.
Okay. So what's the next step for you? What's the next plan for you?
The next plan for me is to add more agents to the brokerage.
That's the game plan.
That just simply needs to happen. And it's not hard. Once I talk to people, people want to come. But I know for me, where I am right now, it was a 2-year healing journey from the baby, from losing our other baby and all the medical complications that came after that. And then now we're pregnant now, and I go hard. My husband's like, you got to relax. So now I'm at a place I got to just sit back. So I got to see how my life is going to transition. So when people come in, I'm actually still able to give them what they need without my life interrupting that, if you will. So my next step is doing that. And I'm also working on a project to to put together a I don't know yet if it's going to be online or in person and online course to try to help those agents who are willing. Again, I'm looking for my tribe, but it ain't for everybody. Who are willing to do what it takes if they're being told what needs to be done step by step. Because I know for myself, there's been so many classes and things I paid for and thousands of dollars that I lost just trying to figure out what the heck I need to do to make this thing work. And going through those things, it's not always a step by step. You're like, damn, I don't spend all this money and I got nothing from it. I already knew that. So I want to be able to actually put something together step by step for 90 days. If you do this, and it's a week by week check-in, things of that sort, and focus on the niche and a couple of other things, and I want to just lay it all out. You don't have to think. All you have to do is do. And if you do, you're going to get some success. So I'm in the process of working on that project now as well to help agents who want to be successful and willing, and they're not lazy, Maurice, and willing to put in the work to have something for them. Because a lot of people don't know what to do because there's so many options of what to do.
First, I'm gonna say a couple things. Irina Andrew says, "Good evening, y'all. Agents do not like change either." She gave a plug to her brokerage. We ain't gonna say your name on the brokers because we don't get paid for that.
No, we don't get no check for that. Like you just said.
And then she also says, "Congratulations on the baby." By the way,
thank you so much.
Yeah. But I do have a question for you. What's that self-talk that you do to keep you operating at a high level? Because I can tell you got some self-talk going on. Walk us through that self-talk process that you go through.
I mean, every morning that I wake up, I always remind myself that nobody owes me nothing. Not my husband, not my mama, not my sister. Nobody owes me anything. So with me knowing that anything, I try to stay in a heart of gratitude. So anything somebody does for me, and the people who are around me, they'll let you know. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't want your blessings. Like I feel bad about taking it. And it's like, girl, no, you bless people all the time. There's nothing wrong with give and take. So to be able to be in a heart of gratitude anytime someone does something for me, I'm forever grateful. Being in that mindset, and then it helps me to not get so upset or be disappointed when people are not doing things to the level that I think they should. So I try to let go of the expectations, and then I try to make sure that I keep my mindset of doing things even when it's hard, even when it's annoying, even when I'm dealing with people I don't want to deal with. I'm doing things as unto the Lord. That don't mean that it's going to be with smiles and all of those things. I don't want to do it. But if I choose to be there, I'm going to do it wholeheartedly. And it's not because of the person. It's not because of those things. It's because the Lord said so. That's it. I have to do the right thing. And let's keep it going. So that helps me to keep grinding even when it hurts.
That's good.
So those are some of the things. And then I just tell myself every day, I have to remind myself, Lord, just allow me today to be a blessing to somebody. That doesn't always mean giving them money. That can be a word of advice. That can be giving them training on something. It can be a compliment. Wherever it is, every day that I wake up, I try to remind myself, and sometimes throughout the day, you need to be a blessing to somebody else. They're probably fighting about it that you know nothing about.
Gotcha.
That's
gotcha.
good. That's good.
No, go ahead, Chris.
She's touching on some stuff. You know, if you had to go back and talk to that 6 year ago agent, the mindset that you had at that particular time and the pitfalls that you had to go through, what do you think that you would what would you like to tell that young lady that was going through it 6 years ago? What would you tell her?
To trust the process.
Ooh.
And to do things even when it don't make complete sense. Because I believe fear held me back a lot in a lot of areas in my life, and especially 6 years ago, it has been a lot of work done in me up until this day, right? But 6 years ago, it was a lot of fear still in me. The fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of messing up, the fear of not getting it right, the fear of wanting all the answers. And it's like, no, to overcome fear, you need to apply some action. So I would tell myself to apply more action sooner and don't overthink it, even when it don't make sense. Because if I at least try it for at least 60 to 90 days and it doesn't work, then I can move on without second guessing. But to not try it at all because I don't know what's going to happen, we just can't do that anymore.
You know, Angie Lawson said, "Do it scared." Jackie Boy said, "Just trust the process." Great advice. Good stuff.
And so I just want to touch on Irina's question. She said, "What would you do today to get paid in 30 days from now?" I know
what would I do today to get paid 30 days from now?
Yep.
That is a loaded question because most things don't happen in 30 days. Not that it can't, but realistically speaking, most things don't happen in 30 days because it takes about 30 days to even close a deal. So that means I have to even start off with prospecting. So one of the things for sure is open houses, hands down. But the thing with open houses that I find is you can go in any industry, any part of the US, somewhere you don't even know. And if you do open houses and you do it the way that I like to do it, which is similar to what is called a mega open house.
What a what? Say it again.
Mega open house.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll explain that in a moment.
Yeah.
You can literally probably be one of the top agents in any city, any area with open houses if you do it right. So typically, y'all, when we're going to open houses to visit them or even doing the open houses, right? How many signs do you typically see leading up to an open house that takes you there?
Maybe 3 or 4, 5.
Right there by the corner. Right there by the corner.
Team. So with that being said, if I'm a driver, this is a fact. Most of your people coming to your open house are not coming from online. They're not coming from the fact that it was on Zillow. They're not coming from the fact that it was on the MLS. They're coming because they saw your signs. You will get people that come from online. That's not where majority of them are coming, unless you're in a neighborhood that is predominant and people have been waiting. But outside of that, that's not the norm. So if I'm driving on a Saturday, Sunday, or even a Friday evening, and I see a bunch of your signs, y'all. So I'll say this: when myself and my agents put signs out, just give me one guess, y'all. How many signs you think we put out?
Y'all putting about 30.
We putting out between 30 and 50 signs. Just depending on where the location of the house is from the main road. When people, and then our signs say on them, they don't have the brokerage on it or anything, nobody's face. It just says open house, free list of area homes.
That's all it's saying.
That's all it says.
He just gave y'all a gem. She just gave y'all a gem. Y'all better write that down.
And it has arrows. We have some that goes, the up when they point this way, that way, the U-turn. And we put them because you have to think that your signs are people GPS.
Yep.
So if your signs are people GPS and you're only putting out 3 to 5 signs, who are you bringing to you? Because by the time I get to your sign at the end of that road, I'm probably gonna kill myself trying to turn.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you start me from the way back, thinking about being my GPS, I don't know the address of the house. I don't know what the house gonna look like, and I don't know who I'm gonna see when I get there.
Right.
I may just be lollygagging because whatever reason, right? So your number one, your signs, they're going to be a major thing. Who wants to get out and put out 30 to 50 signs? Not more reason. That's where the laziness come in, okay? Nobody wants to do that.
Right.
So if you put them signs out, and when you get there, now I'm giving you, y'all, I can't make this up. I've had realtors come to my open house just for my list of homes.
Oh.
Y'all have access to the MLS. Why you need to come get my list?
Right.
So that's how powerful that list is. Most people come in, they want to know what else is in the area. What can I do? Wow. This is showing value. If you lead with value, the people will follow. I don't go around stepping on people's toes and stealing people clients. I make them break up with their agent before they work with me. I'm not doing that because I'm gonna have to see that person on the other side at some point.
Sure.
But I've been able to work with people who have fired their agent just from starting off with a resource. So having that list gives them a resource, right? Then when they get inside the house, that list, I've shown other agents how I do it to put that list together. It's free. It's just through the MLS. The only money you got to spend is you print out the paper. So I typically will do. And then the other thing, some people be like, oh, the house is $500,000. I'm only going to give them homes in $500,000. No, think bigger than that. You don't know who's coming to that open house because they don't even know what they're coming for. People, hello. So you got to hit the people that's probably around the 200 all the way up to the mill. You don't know. Like, just do a good variety, but I try to keep it within no more than 4 sheets. Gotcha. And I staple it together. I always put something on there with my face to say, hey, no matter what home it is that you're interested in, I'm your girl. or I can help you. And if you need help with this, and that, I try to just speak to them according to what most people have issues with. They just don't feel comfortable.
That's good.
So open houses for sure would be my answer. Because those are the people who came to you. You didn't have to go find them. They came to you. Gotcha. So most of the time they're more willing to move to the next step if you follow up with them and be consistent with it.
Got you. So I want to ask another question. So now you're a broker owner. What is your work-life balance, or what does your day look like as far as a broker owner? Like what time are you getting up? What time are you doing all your things for the day?
Oh, so I wake up every day around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
From there, when I get up, after I'm done praying to read my Bible, I have to do that because it keeps me sane throughout the day from cussing my own self out. And so after that, I typically will start my day with like getting on the computer, doing follow-up, checking on things, calling my agents, whatever, maybe around 8 o'clock. Sometimes 7, because I start early and I know they're not usually, they still wiping their eyes at that time. So maybe around 8 o'clock, I'll start my official day with making phone calls, sending out texts, going into my CRM, all those things. And I don't do time blocking. I tried that. It didn't work for me too good. So I kind of do a mixture of things. Jesus, listen, live, y'all. This stuff is coming out. Excuse me.
I love it. The exclusive right here. We need to have watch the birth of the baby live.
Listen, that's the story for another day. Okay. Yeah. So I do that like around 8, and then I try to do that for maybe 2 hours, and then I try not to read my email early in the morning because it distracts me and it makes me go another direction. So I try to wait until after that. I'll read my email, and then I answer those, probably take a break. And then I'll get back on to see if I got any feedback from like maybe the newsletters I sent out. So I'll go back through my CRM, see is there anything else to do. I check on my girl or my agents with their deals or anything they got going on. And then after that, I mean, that's pretty much it. And then I try to go on social media, which since I've been pregnant, I haven't been on there. But normally I try to go on social media for at least no more than like 20 minutes a day. And what I'll do is 5 comments, 5 likes, 5 inboxes, and going through people that's on my personal page and just try to stay connected with them.
Gotcha. So let's talk about this time blocking, because I don't see how you can do it without time blocking. Like how are you telling your new agents what advice you giving new agents? Because time blocking to me is crucial to having a set schedule, because if not, you'll just be flapping in the wind. So what are you telling new agents that don't want to time block?
So when I say I don't time block, it's not in my mind. So I time block, but not to the point to where I don't leave room to move stuff around. Okay. So I know that there are certain things that I have to do. So what I use is a 12-week year.
Okay.
So with the 12, talk about what you said, Maurice?
Tell us about that. What is that?
So the 12-week year is a book that I read. They also have like a workbook, and basically you pick 3 very important things that you want to accomplish within 12 weeks. The ideal is that you'll get more done in 12 weeks than you would in a year, because you're focusing on specific things versus everything.
Got it.
So with that 12-week year, when I focus on those 3 things, I know every day that I'm working up, I have my list that these are the things I need to focus on first. And once I'm done with those things, I usually have other task-oriented things that need to be done as long as I have time to do it. Because I try to stop working like around 6. After 7 o'clock, my clients know don't call my phone. So I work between like from the time I get up, honestly, maybe that 8 o'clock or 7, whatever time I start, to about 6 o'clock. So with the time blocking, I don't do time blocking like, oh, it has to be 2 o'clock, it has to be 3. It's more like these things need to get done.
Gotcha.
And like on my calendar, you'll probably think I'm a crazy person. I even had it down to drink water, because my husband like, you don't even eat. So I have to remember to do those things, and it's down on there. And I do have a schedule for the agents that they literally can click on Google and it automatically downloads on their calendar. So some of the things that's in there really quick is like on every day has something different. Like on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock, we have the Miracle Morning, which I took a lot of this stuff from Ninja Selling. And another training I did, I kind of mixed them together and created a calendar. And then it has on here your status call follow-up for your contracts and active clients. Then I have the power hour. So I have things in here, but it's okay if I don't follow them exactly to that hour.
Gotcha.
It's just a matter of getting certain things done and then making sure you go back to those things.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Makes sense. What is some of your what are some of the income producing activities that's not questionable? You gonna do it. Ain't no ands, ifs, or buts about it. What are some of those things that you do every single day that's a part of your daily routine?
One of the things for sure is going to be making, I like to call them calls of kindness, which is using the Ford script. Making at least 5.
Explain that.
Okay, team, I'm getting to it, Chris. So the Ford script is family, occupation, recreations, and dreams. So sometimes when we have to make follow-up calls with people, it's like, what am I following up about? And if you don't know what to say, or if you're trying to stay up with your sphere or the people around you to remind them you're in real estate to try to get some referrals, you talk to them about family. Everybody like to talk about their stuff. So if we just be quiet for a moment and allow them to speak, you'll get so much more information. It makes them feel special, and they're going to think about you. Everything's about staying front of mind. Good. So before I continue, 95% of my business comes from referrals. Good. So I had to go back to my sales. How do I know where it comes from? You go back to your sales. I don't care if you only had 2. You go back to your sales and you see where those deals came from. And then you start to work that thing that you know worked for you until you perfect something else. And for me, it was first open houses. Then it went from open houses to referrals. I love it. So for me, those calls are income producing because when I call them, I stay front of mind, I get more referrals. So the 4 call family, talk about them about their job, recreation, what you like to do, and then their dreams. Now, the most important thing for me with that is when I'm speaking to them about that, I'm not just listening so I can just check a box. I'm literally for real listening. And I'm for real interested. And I have my notebook always by me, and I'm taking notes of what it is that we're talking about, right? And if there's something, I am community oriented, I try to be. I like to connect with people no matter what their field is to know what they do, because you never know when one of your clients or someone a potential prospect may need something that you can't provide. That's good. Does that make you suck? No, you don't have to be the answer to everything. Right. You at least know somebody that knows somebody when you can. So, and don't be afraid to connect with another realtor. Like if I feel like we may not work together, if I don't have someone in my brokerage, I may call Maurice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Or Chris. 1 or 2.
No, or Chris, I was choking. Okay.
You just choked. You just got choked up. It was coming out. I understand.
It's coming out.
Maurice or Chris. Okay. Alan, get it right. There's a lot of Chris's out there. Okay. And and let them know where, hey, go with this person. So being a resource during that conversation, which I recently had one of my past clients who I just was calling her during my 5 calls of kindness. Check on her, and she was like, oh my God, I'm going through a hard time. I lost my job. I lost this. I lost that. Things happen. I can't come and solve it, baby. I'm not a millionaire, not yet. So I can't go and just give her the money. But now that I know what field you're in, I know that you're having an issue paying your bills. I also know that the city and different places may have money they can give you. I can't promise you it's going to work, but here's some resources. Go call them. And that made her feel like she wasn't in it alone, even though I wasn't able to solve the problem. So during those conversations, you're looking for what problems can you solve and how can you be a resource to them. So that's one of the things that I do that's income producing for me along with my newsletters.
Okay. So let me ask you, I got one more question there. I'll turn it over to Chris. So what do you see the True Guidance Realty in the next 5-10 years from now? What do you see the brokerage at?
In the next 5 or 10 years from now, I see us having more consistent producing agents. Okay, Maurice, that's always going to be the answer because
that's always the answer.
It's crazy out here. Okay, so that we go, and I see. Go ahead, Maurice. What you gonna say?
I was about to say, making sure they get their 6 deals. Absolutely, yes.
I'm gonna need them to get more than 6, okay? But we're gonna go for at least the 6, okay?
At least 6. At least
the minimum. 6 gonna keep your job. How about that?
That's it. That's that part, okay? So definitely there. And then sales cure all. There's a lot of things that I want to do with, because there are certain things that y'all know we have to do. We have to stay on social media. Even if it's not social media, we have to find a way to stay in front of people.
Yes.
Right.
There are some people who are not on social media and they're very successful. Right. It's because they're consistent and they're staying in front of people. They're not hiding behind the internet and hide behind stuff, don't want to connect with people. So I want to be able to just hire in-house work without having to go to Fiverr and having to go to these different places to get it done, and to have things more consistent and more roadmaps for those agents who are willing to do the work. So 5 or 10 years from now, I want those things to be more seamless.
Gotcha. Okay.
I love it. That's good, man. I mean,
I know you got another question, Chris. You always got another question.
We always got stuff. I'm gonna let her have the final words. But so I don't even want to get into another because we can keep going. I mean, you talked to me doggone gyms tonight, so like we can literally go. Your backstory is amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
So, your backstory is amazing. So go ahead and first of all, we thank you for just coming on the show.
Yes,
gracing us with your presence, doing your thing. Keeping it real, keeping it 100%. And dropping gems. And so we definitely appreciate you taking that time to do that.
Absolutely. I thank you guys for having me on, for sure.
So like we give all the guests, go ahead and, tell the people anything that you want them to know, encourage them, any final words of wisdom that you can share.
Man, absolutely. I'll try to keep it brief.
You can keep it long if you want to.
All right, team. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Okay.
No problem.
Okay. So one of the things that I would definitely is to be yourself in this world of real estate where they keep telling you need to look like this person or that person, and you have to dress this way and that way. You have to do all these things that's not you. Right. Be okay with being you. You are the magic that you need, period. And don't apologize for it. Now, if you're a jerk, okay, I'm gonna need you to change, okay? But outside of being a jerk and just not trying to do the right thing to or for people. Right. And if you're not in this industry, our industry is so tainted, y'all. People trust, again, car salesmen. I love y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all got to keep being the example. But people trust car salesmen more than they do real estate agents.
I don't understand that whole concept at all. Like I don't understand that concept. But hey.
But perception sometimes is their reality.
That's good.
So now that we know that, we have to be able to hold those standards up. So when people get into this industry, and a lot of them come in because they think it's so lucrative, right, which it can be,
right,
but it doesn't come just by entering the industry. It doesn't come just by getting your license. You are going to have to work. You are going to, and y'all, our work, and I'm not going to say it ain't real work, but like you literally, our work is connecting with people. When we stop doing that, we stop producing. So when you get in here, you have to connect with people. That means getting outside of the house. That means going to where people are, whether it be a bar, whether it be church, whether it be doing your seminars online, whether it be volunteering. Go where people are and connect with people. I promise you, you will prosper. So again, I can't say enough to be yourself. Don't look and compare yourself to everybody. Remember, 85 to 87% of the agents, they're looking real pretty. They face did up, and Lord knows ain't nothing wrong with that. And they have on these beautiful outfits, and they doing all these things, but baby, they ain't making no money. Close one deal and go on vacation. They're all not making money. So my point is, come on, you found the clapper. Okay. So
you gotta clap my wrist.
I was just tapping on my leg and my desk over here.
I love it. I love it.
You dropping them jams on them.
No, it's true. Be able to just be yourself and be okay with it. Don't compare to somebody else. Just make sure you're doing the work every day that you choose to work, and do it hard. Do it scared. Do it without knowing what the heck is gonna happen next, and be okay to fail forward.
Fall forward.
Yeah.
Fail for it's okay. Because I promise you're gonna be smarter than the next agent. And no matter how long you've been in this industry, somebody's gonna teach you something. Because every deal is different.
Every deal.
And so what I heard you said was some of the people on Instagram.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't start no mess now.
God, no, we about to get canceled. Hey. Hey, I do
Y'all
got
stop
one.
faking out there now. If you ain't close no deals, stop pretending like you did now.
Listen.
Sometimes they gotta pretend, Maurice. That's where the deal's coming from. Okay.
No, absolutely not. No, if you ain't close the deal, stop faking that. No.
Stop faking it. I do. Let's do this one. This is something I want to ask you. We're gonna finalize on this one. Okay. Let's say we did a show right here in Jacksonville, Florida, like a Listing Jacksonville. Who would be the cast of that show? And if you want to put yourself on there, you can put yourself in there. Who would be the cast?
That's a great question.
Of that show.
Chris.
Your friends are watching.
Yes, they are.
They all watching.
Chris, that is a real hard question in real life. Okay.
Your agents are watching.
Yeah. Maurice, don't remind me. Okay. If we had a show here in Jacksonville, who would be the cast of that show for Listings? Oh my gosh, Chris, I don't know. Can that be continued?
Oh, she took the sucker out. Oh no. Man.
Okay.
And we was on Drink Champs. You had to drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that because ooh, Chris, that's hard.
That's a hard one.
I plead the fifth.
Maurice, who would you say, Maurice?
Listing.
Or
I don't know, man. That's a great question because you want a good mix of people. You don't want somebody super stuffy that's not going to be entertaining, but you also want somebody who's actually out here doing it at a high level. So, and then you can mix in different personalities. So that is a very tough question.
Good question.
That's going to take some
investigation, Chris. And I don't know all the agents in the city. So, I mean, you gotta have some entertainment. You gotta have some realness. And then another thing, you gotta have a little drama in it. So you gotta figure out how that's gonna work.
We could probably all come up with some names on some drama. We could probably do that.
Yeah, that part gonna be pretty easy.
What we not gonna do?
Yeah, that part gonna be pretty easy. But we just not gonna do that. Okay, you trying to make these
on
people.
This show.
Listen, I don't fight. Okay, and you trying to make these people come get me in the streets, and I'm not about to do it. You're not gonna set me up.
Them real estate streets be calling. Them real estate streets be calling.
No, we're not gonna do it to you. New mom, we're not gonna do it to you. But thank you so much for being on the show. Man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. You came to the show. You did your thing. You dropped nuggets. You was real. You was authentic. And you graced us with it. And so we thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. If there's anything that we could do to support you and in any of your endeavors, please, you guys just let us know. You got some friends right over here at Real Talk of Real Estate.
Absolutely.
Let us know what we need to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me on, and Maurice for reaching out and all the things. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you and all these things that you're doing. I think it's great.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna reach out to you on some panel type of stuff. We got some stuff coming up, so we definitely gonna reach out to you.
Sounds like a plan.
Absolutely.
All right.
You want to close us out, Chris?
We gotta pay another bill.
We gotta pay another bill. My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to pay this last bill.
Hi, I'm Linda Garcia with Mortgages by Linda. We have over 21 years of experience in the mortgage industry, and we work with 15 different wholesale lenders to get you the lowest interest rates. We provide excellent customer service and look forward to helping you with your mortgage.
Hey, so this is Mortgages by Linda, Ms. Linda Garcia. You can reach her at mortgagesbylinda.com and 1-877-TEAM-MBL. You can reach her at for all your mortgages needs. So she was named 2023 top brokerage in our city. So
nice.
Great person.
Good stuff. So man, that's another wrap. We got any events coming up? We got something coming up tomorrow. We got
no, we don't have anything coming up. We got some in the works, but not this second. So we'll be putting some stuff out there in the next week or so.
Okay. Yep. Good stuff. Well, listen, come back next week, y'all. Another episode of Real Talk of Real Estate next week, next Tuesday, 6 to 7. Do we got a guest next week? Who was our guest next week?
I can tell you in a second, but before we do that, how was this time for you? Was it 6 or 7 pretty good for you, Tamara? I think it was pretty good for me too. I'm just saying.
So you're not gonna let that go, Doc?
No, I ain't letting it go. No.
No. 6 or 7 is fine for me. You know, that works out. I'm an early bird. I'm normally in the bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock. But
told you.
But it really wasn't so much for the guests on the show. It was for the listeners tuning into the show, Maurice. It was people who actually watching the show.
So what time did you propose, Chris?
I haven't proposed. I didn't propose anything yet. We get a lot of people that watch the show afterwards. So the question is, are we at a good time slot that people can actually chime in live to watch the show? That was the question.
Okay, yeah, well, people getting off of work and things of that sort, but then they get busy. So I think, listen, Chris, it's one of those things you just kind of got to get it done.
Okay. And they just don't. Listen, we on episode number 34.
Come on, team.
And Maurice said, if it ain't broke, we ain't fixing it. So
I know that's right, because they'll chime in after. It's all right. They'll get it in, and they can put in a request.
We got several different social media pages. They can go back and watch the replay.
Yes, they can.
You're right, Don. You're right. I yield. I yield to my boy. I yield. Well, thank you so much again. So listen, y'all. Don't talk about it. Come back next week. Don't talk about it. Be about it. We out. Peace.
Bye.